Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien speaking on Friday, March 29th, TGIF. Me and Bubba here are surveying the day. Bubba's still pondering on becoming president, but he's leaning more and more to running because of what we heard yesterday. So, remember I did a video on Miss Ingrid? I'm sorry, excuse me, Miss Laura Ingraham? Well, you've seen today's news here where her partner in crime, AOC, has bad poll numbers. Ugh, nobody likes AOC. But Miss Ingram is in the same boat on the other side of the Republicans. It's just that she doesn't see it that way. Yesterday on her program, Ingram's Angle, she did a tirade on the sore losers, as she called them, Democrats. You know, like Mr. Gillum, Stacey Abrams, and Beto O'Rourke, because they lost their respective races and now they're viewed by the Democrats as, oh, number one, we're here to get them. Well, they did. They lost tight races, Miss Ingram. And in the case of Georgia, with Bubba in the race here, I mean, Miss Ingram has a right to be where she's at. She has the right to look at what she's at. So does Mr. Gillum. And so does Mr. O'Rourke, whether you agree with them or not. Just because they lost, they shouldn't go home with their tails between their legs. And then you bring up the bastion of your Republican Party, Ronald Reagan. He lost in '76, but he was back in 1980. Come on, Laura Ingrams, where is your brain? Do you still got watermelons in there? Do you remember the nine? Oh no, you were born in 1963, so you're a disgrace to the baby boomers like generation. I thought you were Gen Xers, but you're baby boomers. So as an alien here, let me give you the truth and tell the American people the truth here. In 1976, Ronald Reagan, who was considered a scourge by most Republicans, because remember, he had won back-to-back governorships in California, and the Californians didn't like that too much. Big time. That's why Jerry Brown got elected. So come on, Miss Ingram, get your facts right. In 1976, he ran a very nasty anti-Gerald Ford campaign. And Mr. Ford wasn't exactly a top-notch politician. You know it. Because he ran a election that he knew he was going to lose anyway because he had already pardoned Richard Nixon. But what did Ronald Reagan do when he lost the challenge in '76? Did he go home and say, okay, I'll wait till 1980? Oh no. He was actively in the sidelines telling his people, stay home, don't vote for Gerald Ford. We'll get him in 1980. Don't vote for Gerald Ford. Vote for Carter. Vote for Carter. Remember that? That was prevalent in 1976, and I was a teenager. I know that because Ronald Reagan was a despised Republican. Big time. And I was in the Panama Canal Zone, and we despised him. What did we call it? Reaganomics. Remember that? Trickle-down Reaganomics. And they was despised, Laura Ingram. So where in the hell do you get bringing people like Ronald Reagan into this mess? Ronald Reagan was despised. Remember in the '62 election when Mr. Nixon lost the governorship there? And he says, well, you don't have Richard Nixon to kick around anymore. Well, he bid his time. He is the one that you should be talking about. Richard Nixon. Dirty, tricky Dicky. But no, you're talking about Ronald Reagan. Mr. Iran-Contra. Mr. Hostage. Mr. Behind the Scenes with all the dirty tricks. He learned from Tricky Dicky, except that he did it much better, except that he got caught in Iran-Contra. So, whatever you do, Miss Ingram, get your facts right, okay? The 1976 election, for the Republican side was vicious, and that was because of Ronald Reagan. He's the one that hurt President Ford in the general elections with Jimmy Who. Yeah, Jimmy Who. Remember him? Another nobody from Georgia, like Abrams. But Jimmy Who won the election, which Abrams didn't do. So now you are crucifying Abrams for trying to be something that your Republicans always try to be. Heck, didn't Romney try 4 or 5 times? What is wrong with you, Laura Ingraham? The problem with your country is your party and the Democratic Party. You both suck. So until you figure that out and figure out what to do, well, do something right on your television show for a change, huh? Thanks.